here. So let's get into some retail numbers here, shall we? Let's talk a little bit about what's going on here. So we got this report here that basically said slower U.S. September retail sales missed forecast, and there was also a couple new corporate bankruptcies or a couple new retail bankruptcies. U.S. retail and food services sales growth slowed in September and missed consensus expectations. So total retail and food services sales increased 0.2% month over month to $733.3 billion in September, according to seasonally adjusted advanced estimates from the U.S. Census Bureau. The data for September was initially due in October, but was delayed because of the U.S. government shutdown. Still, sales in September may have been flat from the previous month, rather than up 0.2% due to insufficient statistical evidence gathered during the period. And I just want to show you guys this chart here, and I am going to blow this up so that everybody can see this hopefully a little bit better. So September 25 retail store sales. Everybody can see this here. So the orange here, mainly to the right, is the year-over-year change. The green is the month-over-month change. Now, I just wanted to point this out that, again, month over month might have been down a tad, but year over year, I mean, the numbers have been pretty good for just about every category. So again, I don't think this is any reason to majorly panic here with anything. And then we go over here to this. So I thought this was very interesting. A number of the articles that I was looking at leading into this week, leading up to Wednesday, were saying things like this. Shoppers curtail Black Friday plans to stretch spending. They are using every tool that they can, experts say. So Black Friday is typically the biggest shopping event of the year, but several reports show a potential pullback in 2025. Many Americans are facing mounting challenges and an increasingly bifurcated consumer economy. Now, again, I don't necessarily dispute that. I mean, again, if we go back to the U.S. debt clock for just a second, we could see here, there is currently $1.3 trillion in U.S. credit card debt. It's obviously a problem. That's a lot of credit card debt out there for people. So again, I don't dispute that. However, this didn't make any sense to me. I was sitting there going, again, people, it's very interesting how every time you think it's going to stop or it's going to slow down, people find a way to keep spending money or keep spending money. And thus, on the next couple articles, I'm going to show you here. So Black Friday online spending hits a record $11.8 billion as American shoppers embrace new AI technology. AI-driven traffic to retail websites jumped 805% as Americans avoided crowded stores. So American shoppers turned to artificial intelligence in unprecedented numbers as Black Friday, helping push online spending to a record $11.8 billion, as many consumers chose to avoid crowded stores and shop from home. So again, I wanted to point this out. Then the next one, Small Business Saturday, poised for a powerful impact as SBA rallies Americans to shop local. SBA Administrator Loeffler says small businesses anticipate 20% of annual sales from Saturday alone. So again, today, for the Small Business Saturday, again, expecting a big pop. And we saw these record sales. Black Friday online spending hits a record $11.8 billion. As American shoppers. So this kind of, going back to this for a second. Shoppers are going to curtail their Black Friday plans. Not so much. Actually looks like they hit record numbers, and it looks like it's going to be, just fine. So, but let's take a look at something else here. So core wholesale prices rose less than expected in September. Retail sales gained. So the producer price index increased a seasonally adjusted 0.3% for September, in line with the Dow Jones consensus estimate. However, excluding food and energy, the index rose just 0.1% below the 0.2% estimate. Retail sales increased 0.2% in September, a bit softer than the 0.3% forecast. However, sales excluding autos rose 0.3% in line with estimates. So again, just for a second, if we go back to this chart, so again, what they're saying is that, sales sales were down a little bit, or sales again jumped a little bit in September, but weren't quite as high as what they were before. So again, people were looking at this for patterns, right? And they were looking at this to basically try to say, oh, we're maybe seeing this little bit slowing in sales, and maybe this is going to translate into Black Friday not being so great. Yeah, not so much. Black Friday was fantastic, and we had record sales, and it was great. The producer price index, one of the inflationary numbers and indexes that we look at, came in, slightly below estimates. At least on the core aspect of it. Seasonally adjusted at 0.3% was right where expected again. But the key thing there being is that no increase in inflation. It stayed steady, and core actually decreased a little bit. And retail sales weren't super robust in September, but they weren't bad either. And it looks like the retail sales are going to be really good. So again, good stuff there. So just to recap there, while we did have slightly softer retail sales, and like I said, it looks like Black Friday and Small Business Saturday are going to come through big time, and sales are going to be very, very robust. And